Good afternoon. My friend Dave, one of the early vlogs I talked about going to see my friend Dave, nickname of Dog, 'cause his name was Dave Maddock. So when he was young, it turned to Mad Dog, and then just Dog, and that's kind of what we all know him as. And this morning, horribly, inevitably, he passed away. He died, and I just want to talk about. I suppose I just want to talk about that. But the fact that in one of the early vlogs I talked about when I was down in Sidmouth in Devon, because that's where he's from. He was from my town in Devon, which I love dearly, where I suppose still all my closest friends are or were, or from that period. And he was known as, and everybody who knows him will know this, regardless of, because he's died, it's easier to say all these things, but with no exaggeration. That's the word I'm thinking of. He was a legend, is a legend, shall always be a legend, because of his personality, his humour, and his love of a good party, and a true inspiration, really, and will continue to be an inspiration. And it's very easy to say this about people when they die. It's very easy to say all these things, but I just can't tell you how genuine that is. I've talked about inspiration a lot, and yes, we do get inspired by people who do extraordinary things, and we do get inspired by people that climb mountains and put themselves through them. But I think most of my inspiration comes from people that are just those people that you just feel good in the company of, and you feel that love you just for who you are, and there's no expectation. And it comes back to that age-old thing with me, my obsession with authenticity. It's getting back to that thing that is you, that gets covered over the years and years by expectation and assumption and what you should do, and then you get mixed up with what you think you should do, or is it what other people think I should do. And I think with Dave, he was just one of those people, and there was no pretense whatsoever in him, and I think that's the inspiration. And I knew him and grew up with him, and he was older than me. He was kind of more in the sort of people that hang around with my brother, and older than my brother as well, I think. But definitely one of those people, when I was becoming who I was becoming, that I was, with a lot. And there's a few summers when we were probably not looking after ourselves very well, let's just put it like that, and but hanging out together, and it just formed me. Those years formed me, and I think of all the people, including my brother and friends that are still down there, there's without a doubt there's a real true authenticity to that, and that's something that I've always tried. And don't get me wrong, I can be a right pretentious twat sometimes. I mean, talking to a performer, you know what I mean? But even with that, it's just that desperation to really now try and clear all that away, and trying to be just as authentic as possible, because I think that's what we need to be totally happy. I really think we do. I think when we're caught up in shoulds and shouldn'ts, I think we become unhappy. Where we're caught up what we should do if it goes against our own values. So I think it's really important, and it takes work. It takes work at the age of 43 to do that. 44 in a couple of weeks. And that's the inspiration, really, and that's what I take with me. And a few weeks ago, when I was down in Sidmouth in Devon, I went to see him, and I was lucky. I hadn't seen him in a while, and the usual shit happens, and no excuse. It had been a long time since I'd seen him, and I'd heard he was ill, and I still hadn't seen him. And we went to see him, and to be honest, I probably wouldn't have gone had it not been for it just happened. It was like a perfect storm. A few people going that knew me. Do you want to come in it? I was just caught up in other stuff, and fuck me, when I went in there, to see Gill, his wife, who was caring for him, 24/7. Just that, and that's the inspiration as well, that love, that commitment, that fucking, that's a marriage, that's that where someone will literally just and happily, in a way, and I don't mean feeling happy. There's obviously a lot of unhappiness in this, but but just commit everything to just making that beautiful person as comfortable as possible in his pain. You know, he died of cancer, so there's a lot of pain and discomfort. Obviously, when I saw him, you're always worried when you go and see someone. It's happened twice with me now. When you know that they're in their later days, you know, and you worry selfishly about not knowing what to say. You worry about the other person, how to be, and I think and you're worried that is it going to be really upsetting. And I went in that room, and do you know what? It was upsetting to see someone in discomfort, but the overarching feeling I've talked about before was a feeling of love in that room, you know, a feeling of an acceptance and a love and unconditional love, and fuck, that's a gift, you know. That was such a gift for me, you know, to be part of that. And we went out for a drink afterwards, and then the next day I was going home, and I just wanted to drop Gill down a couple of things. There was a photo of all of us that I got printed up. I wanted to drop down, but then I had my son Woody with me, and we went. I just wanted to drop it down to Gill, so I knocked on the door, give her a ring, and I said, Gill, I don't want to come in. I know it's heavy, and she's like, no, come up. And as part of me was like, will it be all right for Woody? And you know, Woody's 7, and I explained the situation to Woody, and you know what? He came up, and it wasn't bleak, and it wasn't horrible, and I was proud, man. I was proud to take my son into that, you know, and just and dog lying on the bed with just fucking nothing, you know, no energy, and just eye contact with Woody and fist bumps Woody, which Woody loves because it's like a big Hero 6 thing. So, and then two of the last things he said to Woody, you've got the best dad in the world, which was a lovely thing to say, with literally so much effort. And he said to me, don't let the fuckers drag you down. And after saying it was quite rightly the last time I was going to see him, and I think, I will take that with me, man. That's my obligation. It's my obligation because I love people, but you will get people trying to get you caught up in what they think you should be, what they think you should do, how they think you should act. And we all have it. And it's hard not to. It's hard not to because you don't upset people. You want people to like you. You want people to respect you. I think you want to do what they say, really. Sometimes I do. And it's hard to kind of kick back against that. So I will, Dave. I won't let the fuckers drag me down, mate. And I'll be like you. I'll love anybody in my vicinity and give everybody all I can, mate, and bring joy to people like you did, hopefully. So that's for Dave. That's for Dog, who left us this morning. In the night. I'm not sure what time it was, and Gill, man, Gill, fucking hell. If you're watching this and you see Gill, just give her everything, you know. And I pray I can get down for the funeral. I really do. So, listen, thank you for listening to me. I hope that you can take some of that before a friend of yours, you know, is in that situation. If you take it from that experience before we learn from these sad passings, you know. So, thanks very much. Thank you for listening. I love you very much. Bye bye.